It is the end of the month. Today is the 28th of April. And pay attention. I'm in a little of a dilemma today. This girl that I used to know way back, it ain't no way back, but I think I met her around 2016 when I first came home from Colorado. And I met her through, at the time, I thought was my best friend, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into it because me and him not friends no more, but we was friends for a long time. At any rate, she, at that time, was she was selling her body on this website called Backdoor. And I think that she was like accustomed to having a man manage that for her. Something like a pimp, but really not a pimp. And I guess he started doing it for her because basically he was a drug addict. Now he probably wasn't indulging anymore in crack, but he smoked so much weed it was ridiculous. Like it was never enough weed for him. He always needed some more. And I always felt like that kind of stemmed from the fact that the weed wasn't the high that he really wanted to get, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the girl. And so, being friends with him, I linked up with her because neither one of them had a car. And he had his friends like running her around to her what they call them, Johns. And so then I came in the picture and me and her hit it off. And so, you know, it was more like me and her was hanging out rather than, you know, it was like a job. But she was paying me like $100. And I ain't had no job or no type of income coming in. So it was just like, to me, I was like, damn, I hit the jackpot. All I gotta do is drive this bitch somewhere and sit in the parking lot and wait for her to come. Shit, I thought I had hit a jackpot, like I just said. Anyway, we hung out for about, I wouldn't even say it was a whole year, but it was several months until we fell out because she had an alcohol and pill addiction. I never had pills that made me feel any type of way. Like I don't even like any type of pills. Like I rather deal with whatever the pain is than take the pill. I don't know what it is with me and pills, but I don't really care for pills. And then I'm not a big drinker. Like if I'm drinking, then I'm out at a spot and we are drinking out of glass, and I prefer a martini glass. Even back then, I didn't even realize I prefer to drink out of a martini glass, and I don't care what I'm drinking, as long as it's in that pretty glass. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I'm saying I want to drink out of martini glass, so I prefer to have like martinis. So, let's just go there. And so, to make a long story short, she then linked back up with me on Facebook several months ago, might I add. And I talked to her a couple of times, and I let him know that I had talked to her because I assumed she was looking for him, but she had found him and they had a conversation. So he told her, what my name was on Facebook, and so she could get in contact with me. And so we talked a few times, and she was really trying to reminisce, which, like, I'm not in the headspace anymore. You know what I mean? The headspace that I was in when I was hanging out with her, it was like anything goes. You know what I mean? Whatever's clever type of mood I was in. And so, you know, I didn't mind talking to her, but I realized almost instantly that, you know, this is not something I want to, you know, rekindle. You know what I mean? Because she didn't sound like she was doing the same thing. Because she said she had been to prison. She had been to federal prison for something. And I didn't even ask her about, you know, what it was that she was locked up for or nothing like that. I just, you know, we was just talking like regular people. But I noticed once we became friends on Facebook, I noticed that, you know, her and her boyfriend would post all these lovey-dovey pictures of each other on Facebook and all these long adoration posts for each other. And, you know, truthfully, I probably got a little bit jealous because she's a white girl, you know what I mean? And the guy was black. And he wasn't attractive or nothing. It was just that she had somebody, you know what I mean? When you ain't got nobody, it's easy for your motherfucking ass to get, you know, jealous of some motherfucking body or feel some type of way about somebody else, you know, expressing their love for somebody on Facebook, which should be okay, but, you know how we women are sometimes. But I didn't say anything or treat her bad or anyway. I just know how I was feeling internally about her and whoever this guy that she was with, constantly posting on Facebook photos of each other. So I kind of, and then the page that I was connected to her on, I'm not real like you know, active on that page because I got 2 pages, and I will get on that page, but I don't really do no posting on that page. You know, I'm just not active on that particular page. And so I go there when I feel like, you know, bored, like super bored. I want to see what's going on over there, but really I'm not. Facebook got your algorithms all fucked up where you see, because for some reason on that page, you know, it's just shit that I am not interested in comes up, you know, on my main page too, but I will post on there, and so I might have a few comments somebody might say or something like that I can look forward to a notification about or whatever. So I haven't been on there for a while, and I got on there like a week and a half ago on this page that I'm connected to her on, and we ended up talking again on Messenger because she likes to video chat on Messenger, but of course she doesn't have a iPhone, and so that's why she favors Facebook Messenger app. And so she called me and we talking on the phone or whatever, and we just chopping it up, you know what I mean? And chopping it up about her life. You know, I ain't talking about nothing that's going on with me, because my life is really about healing and you know, doing all the things to try to get my mental, emotional, and physical health lined up. You know what I mean? And she not really interested in that, or at least that's how I feel, that she not interested in it. And so I just, you know, chopping it up with her on whatever it is she's talking about. And she was at a different place and not at her apartment, because she got a nice little loft apartment downtown. I mean, real nice apartment. And she said, I found out in hindsight, some man bought it for her, and she pays him the rent. And so, which I didn't get off into that either, because she always got like some type of John that's willing to, you know, shell out the ducks for her if she needs it. You know what I mean? And I guess they do a lot, but not enough. So she was over to the guy house. So I was like, well, where you at? And she was like, I'm over to his house, and he got his own place. I was like, oh, I thought y'all lived together in that apartment. She was like, nah, we don't live together. He got his own place and I got mine. That's what she said last week. So I was like, oh, well, wow, Stacy got it going on. You know what I mean? So, fast forward to yesterday. I got this trip planned, and I got the mystery trip that I bought from Groupon that I'm, doing, that's coming up next week, and I got to go out of town for work next week, and the mystery trip is requiring me to go to Chicago, so I got a lot of traveling I got to do next week, and I need really, because I got to drive to Kansas City Sunday night, come back Tuesday night driving, and I hate driving. But then Tuesday night, I got to go down to Amtrak to catch the train. And I cannot think or find a way outside of Uber or Lyft that I can make that happen, where I can park my car somewhere close downtown and catch an Uber or Lyft and leave it safely for, 5 or 6 days. I don't know anybody downtown I could do that with. I could possibly take it to this little, like, a Fina place and leave it, but that's in the Peabody area, and, the motherfuckers that be walking around down there and notice the car at night and notice that it's there all night, and so I'm literally kind of leery about doing that. And so I thought about her, and I was like, oh, but you know what, Stacy stay downtown. I wonder if I could park my car at her apartment, and she could run me over to Amtrak, because I bet you she stayed less than 2 minutes away from the Amtrak train station. So I called her yesterday on Messenger. She answered, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Stacy? She got this thing over her eye, like a cloth. And as soon as she saw me, she started crying. It was a fake cry. I didn't realize that till after the fact, but it was a fake cry. So she was just like, you know what I mean? But she brought the tears and everything. So then I'm like, damn, what's up? What's wrong with you? She pulled the towel back. She got a big ass motherfucking black eye. I'm like, damn, what happened to you? So she's telling me the story about the guy hitting on her, and he been doing it and all that. And I'm like, well, say you got to get out that situation. You know what I mean? That ain't helpful. You need to get out of that. And that's the trajectory I'm on for the whole conversation. Like, you got to go, but as I'm talking to her and she's telling me all these different things, I'm realizing in the conversation that she not ready to go. You know what I mean? She not ready to leave that relationship. Although she said he has done this multiple times, that he cheats on her all the time. And the only reason why that he really wants to be with her is because of her money, which was the same reason why my best friend was hanging out with her, because she's very friendly with the money. And at the time, she was so young. She had just this youth about her that she was really cute. I thought that she had the gift of gab. She a little bitty white girl. Like, she might not even be all the way 5 feet. You know what I mean? A little tiny, skinny little body. You know what I mean? And my best friend love him slim like that. Little and slim. Oh, that's his favorite type. And so, now she look like she been through there, down there, and around the corner now. And I think she only like 36. She 36. But she looked like she'd have had a hard life. And she's wearing black hair, which is not the color of her hair. So the black hair is really making her look even older. The black hair. But you can't tell people nothing. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother, situation. But at any rate, I'm talking to her on the phone. I'm like, damn, it's making me feel like I made the right move by not, because I kind of like, one of the reasons why I stopped going to that other page was because I wanted to like disconnect with her. Like, what connection do we really have? I'm not fit to drive you around and sell pussy. You know what I mean? And I'm not smoking weed. I'm not no drinker. So, You know, I decided at the first of the year that was going to be my last time having a drink was New Year's Eve. And, you know, I don't smoke weed like I used to. I smoke weed as a medicine when my head is so fucked up mentally that I need to ground myself in a way that I can get out of those crazy thoughts that be coming to my head. So that's the only time that I ever smoke weed these days. And so, I mean, what would we have in common? Because she's 36, I'm 58. I'm, what, 20 years older than her? You know? And so, I'm thinking to myself as I'm talking to her, because I'm like really kind of getting upset at the fact that she like pushing back on the things that I'm saying to her about what she has to do. You know, she got a good little job where she says she work out there where I live at. She works out there where I live at. But it's only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But she missed this Saturday and Sunday because he blacked her eye. And basically, he blacked her eye for her bringing up somebody he fucking with on the side. You know, them type of niggas. So he ain't got nothing going on for himself. You know what I mean? He probably barely got a job. You know, she said that his water and, you know, because she started saying that he stayed with her. And I was like, well, damn, you just told me the other day, you know, you had your own place and he had his. She said, yeah, but his water off and they just turned the gas off and, you know, just like it's a shell of a place. That looks like it's not an apartment. It looks like a house. Maybe his mama owned it or something. I don't know what all the details are. But she don't need him. He need her. And then she kept saying that he all she got. She don't have nobody else. And I'm like, Stacey, I ain't got nobody else either. I'm like, shit, I ain't got no family. I ain't got no friends. For real, I ain't got no associates. It's just me. You know what I mean? And that's what she said. That's the reason why she's staying with this guy, because she ain't got nobody else. Like, shit, but you ain't got him either. If he kicking your ass. Like, what benefit is him in your life? What's the benefit besides you posting all these photos of y'all when the shit good? And then, because I know it's a vicious cycle, because when they posting all the videos, that's the honeymoon phase. So they getting along, they probably fucking good, and you know, she probably issuing out the ducats and they eating out and having a good time doing the honeymoon phase. Then as soon as that shit over with and he decide, or she ain't got no more money, because it sounds like to me that her job allows her to take loans out on her check before she get it. And so that's what she been doing for him. And then she gonna, you know, casually mention that she was talking to his sister about the fact that she wondered if he getting high again. Girl, again. As soon as she said again, I said, oh yeah, that's what it is. You know, if you talking about something, is he getting high again? Yeah, that's what it ain't no again. It ain't never stopped. And more than likely, she know that. You know, she just don't want to tell me all the details because she want me to feel sorry for her. But the whole reason why I'm making this video is because she want me to take her to the doctor on Thursday, which means I'm going to have to take off several hours of work to do it for her. And I'm really kind of torn. Like, because originally I was like, yeah, I do it. You know what I mean? My friendly motherfucking ass always doing some extra motherfucking shit for people. But I really can't afford to, I mean, I can afford to do it, but I'm talking about mentally and emotionally, I can't afford to entangle myself in this girl. You know what I mean? And so I don't feel like I should take her now. Like, why should I miss out on my motherfucking hourly, damn near 40 hours an hour job to go and take you anywhere? It's not beneficial for me. But, you know, everything don't have to be beneficial for me. But the friendship wouldn't even be beneficial because you're not thinking right. And I don't feel like training her in any kind of way. That's just like something I don't want to do either. So I'm a little bit torn about this whole situation because I want to help her, but if she not ready to do the work, you know, I don't have the wherewithal to be trying to help somebody when I'm still actively working on myself. I just can't do it. I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.